Assalamu alaikum. We are going to discuss the topic logic and critical thinking, and the title is type of fallacy. Fallacy is committing mistake, bad argument, poor reasoning, creation of illusion is a faulty argument. And when we committed fallacy, and what manner we have found the mistakes. So, fallacy is divided into two: the formal and informal fallacy. And what is informal fallacy? Fallacy is that poor argument, that faulty argument, that committed mistakes in delivering the argument. Uh, they are appeal to emotion, they are appeal to fear, they are appeal to some tradition and authority. There are too much biasness and found many errors in delivering the argument. This is called what the informal fallacy. So informal fallacy is subdivided into four: the fallacy of relevance, fallacy of presumptions, each other type, fallacy of defective induction, and the fourth one is fallacy of ambiguity. So, what is the fallacy of relevance? Uh, the argument has some facts and evidence, and it must be relevant to the provided conclusion. But if there is no relevancy with the premises, so that type of argument is unsound, and this is called committed fallacy of relevance. In fallacy of relevance, the argument is uh, not relevant, conclusion and the premises doesn't follow each other. So further, we subdivided the fallacy of relevance into first one, the appeal to tradition and authority, where the customs and the tradition and the values are followed blindly, and we put the argument by saying that the tradition and the norms and the culture say that, and agree to the person point of view as a traditional and conventional method. And appeal to bandwagon is also known as a popular argument, where we say that everybody is doing that, everybody is believing that, and 90% people like this, 90% people use it, so you have to do also. So everyone is believing, everyone is saying. So this is also, that's why it's called popular argument. The appeal to bandwagon say that the most popular argument. And the next, appeal to emotion and the pity. Um, Here the argument are provided with the manipulation of emotion and with their pity stories. So we have a quick overview of the relevance, and then we have to be double click and detailed discussion over the fallacy of presumptions, right? Fallacy have further subdivision, which is called appeal to personal attack ad hominem, uh, where we doesn't argue against an argument, but we argue against the personal. We put the personal attack on it. Fallacy of relevance has one of another subdivision, poisoning the well, where the arguer presume that the opponent will found be treated as always unsound. Red herring. Red herring means distraction. Red herring means distraction, irrelevant discussion, or cut off from the main point. Now, we have double click over the fallacy of presumption. It was a quick recap and revision of the previous Previous one, the fallacy of relevance. Now we are talking about the fallacy of presumption. What does it mean? Presumptions, presupposition. Presumption means when we putting an argument, we take many assumptions. We take some assumptions. So all those fallacies which is based on some sort of assumption where the argument is put on the basis of presupposition and assumptions. So presumption means presupposition and taking the assumption while delivering the argument. So this argument is filled up with the too many assumptions, whether it is good or bad, sound or unsound. Fallacy of presumptions also tells you your conclusion is very weakened, your conclusion is unsound because the fact is not clear and you presuppose that. So fallacy of presumption has further subdivision. Uh, uh, this one is a free accident, complex question, and backing the question. What is accident? Accident means the context, the situation. Whenever we say that this argument is out of context, out of the situation, so accident means in what manner, in what context this discussion is to be made. And the complex question, tell you that the question is quite repetitive and you are begging the question. Uh, the question is already presupposed in the argument. Whenever you put the argument, you already presume the answer. So this is called what the backing the question. So we have double click over the fallacy of accident and the complex question and backing the question what it was. So here is fallacy of accident. The fallacy of accident tell you misapply a general rule to a particular case because the particular case is an exceptional case. Exceptional means the accident where the situation is beyond the scope of that rule. So here's an example. Someone is talking loudly in an operation theater and say that it is simply because of I have freedom of speech. I have a freedom of speech, so I can talk loudly in the hospital. So this is not the case. This is not the situation. You have a freedom of speech. You will enjoy that freedom, but not in that case of hospital. In a mosque, you will be not keep shout there. You will not talking loudly there. So here the restriction of freedom of speech, right? There is another example. Killing is wrong. Mercy killing is a kind of killing. So mercy killing is wrong. So this is not the case. That everything in that situation is said to be right or wrong. it would be deeply analyzed that what was the case, what was the situation. So, fallacy of presumption, where the premises and the conclusion, conclusion is bias, and premises are presumed what they purport to show. So, second one is fallacy of complex question. So, complex question means this occur when apparently a single question is asked that really involves two or more questions. One question, when you put the one question, the another question is already embedded in there. This is what the fallacy of complex question. The fallacy of complex question, it makes an interrogation that assume a certain state of affair. For example, if I ask, "What did you eat at the lunch?" and I'm in effect ask, "Did you have lunch?" If you did, what did you eat? So there is a lot of questions are embedded in there. So we presume many things are there. So fallacy presumption has a complex question, and complex question where the question is already put up in there. For example, I have one more example. Any answer to the question, therefore involving the granting of assumption. Any answer to the question involve the granting of the assumption. For example, when the lawyer asks a question, "Have you stopped stealing?" Suspect say yes, and the lawyer, then it means that you are a thief because you say that yes. Have you stopped stealing? So suspect say yes. So lawyer say that it means that you were a thief. If someone is in a prison, it means definitely he will be a criminal or convicted. So because verdict is not there. So any question, the question by the journalist, by the interviewer, or any person. So so there is not a single question, and really involved two or more questions are embedded in there, and answer is presupposed there. So this one is the fallacy of complex question. Okay, fine. The another one is the bagging the question. Bagging the question is also, yes. Here is it. Bagging the question. What does it mean? Bagging the question is also known as the circular reasoning. Bagging the question is also known as the circular uh, reasoning, or in a Latin word, it is say that petito principi. Petito principi, which means bagging the question. It means this fallacy occur when one assume the very thing and another is try to prove. It is simply you can say that conclusion is already into the premises. That's why it is called the circular reasoning. For example, you will say that the Bible is the word of God because the Bible says so. Critical thinking is that type of thinking because you think critically, right? Mama is a good communicator because he speak effectively. The speak effectively is also called the good communicator. So this is a circular reasoning. When you why there is a traffic? Because there is a lot of car. The lot of car and the traffic, the both are the same thing. So when you define the thing, when you give the premises, so you will get nothing at all. It is not conclusively. So that's why it is called backing the question, and also known as the circular reasoning. Restate the argument, you will repeat the argument rather than actually proving it. You will not try to prove it, you just restating the premises, and the conclusion was not sufficient on the basis of that premises which is already restating there. There is no just certain sufficient proof. So this is the part of fallacy of presumption. So what we have in fallacy of presumptions, have three division. I repeat it again. Yes, it was accident. Uh, it was accident where the context and situations are there. The second one was the complex question, which means the one question has many more questions are embedded there. Begging the question, which is also known as the secular reasoning, where premises is already embedded in the conclusion. Okay, so we have a quick review over that. The fallacy of relevance include the appeal to emotion, appeal to pity, appeal to force, and the threat, and then argument against the person, which means ad hominem, and then irrelevant conclusion, or we can all further divide it that the personal attack, which is called ad hominem, and appeal to pity, bandwagon, which is called the popular argument, the strawman, and the red herring, which means distract from the main topic, divert from the main topic. In equivocation, we will talk later on. Backing the question, which is called the secular reasoning. Okay, fine. The next one is the fallacy of defective induction. Fallacy of defective induction. Fallacy of defective induction means what? Why we say that the defective induction? We have take some reading also for the fallacy of defective induction, as well as the fallacy of or presumptions together. Fallacy of defective induction means where the facts providing is not sufficient, it is quite defective. It means uh, there is a error, there is a mistake in providing the facts. This is called what? The fallacy of defective induction, right? Fallacy of defective induction has argument from the ignorance. Argument from the ignorance means we have ignorance of the some fact. Appeal to inappropriate authority. The authority who has provided the argument is uh, not reliable source. The third one is the false cause, where the cause and the effect is not relevant, and hasty generalization, where you jump to the conclusion very quickly. Now we double click over it. What is where or what are the further subdivision of fallacy of defective induction? There is a slippery slope when one must lead the another act, and there is a series of committing the false premises with their conclusion. There is a series of bad argument and the poor argument. And one desirable action will lead to the worst action. For example, if you say that if I lose my grade, I will lose my job. If I will lose my job, I will be very difficult to survive in this society. If I will difficult to survive in this society, so I will become the homeless and become a criminal. So from the one act, you will be lead toward the worst and the worst and the worst condition. So these approach is might be positive from upward condition and might be declining the backward condition. But when you leave one position to take to the another position, and a series of connecting argument of false premises are called the slippery slope. If you not do this, if you will become this. If you not do this, you will be like that. If you will not pay the credit card bill, you will be gradually lose control your finance, in your time, telephone, electricity bill turn off, and eventually you will be evicted. Evicted means you will be expelled out from the apartment. And when you expel out from the apartment, your whole life, you will spend the life as homeless. And when you become homeless, you will be become a vendor person on the street. And when you become the vendor person on the street, or might be you will be committing suicide. So the single act that lead toward the worst and the worst condition. So that type of argument and providing the premises is wrongly connected with each other, and it's called the slippery slope. So it's quite clear. Slippery slope is what, one must lead to the another, and there is a continuous argument of. Okay, and you change the direction, and the variety of false chain of argument in the premises are there. Variety of false chain. If you fill in paper, your career will be destroyed. If your career will be destroyed, you will be completely homeless person. If you become a homeless person, you will become a psychopathic man. So it means if, when you fail in the exam, so you will become a psychopathic. So all these connections are wrongly connected with each other. So this is a false chain of premises. So this is the slippery slope, and we have another one: appeal to inappropriate authority. Appeal to inappropriate authority. Inappropriate authority. When you say that, who said that to take that pill? You say that I supposed to take, and many times when I take that medicine, so I will be healed. So who recommended? Any doctor? From where do you get this? Any prescriptions? No. So authority is not legitimate. Where you say that word, why this you quoted? You say that some anonymous say that. So there is no reliable source for quoting that part. Where there is a source is not reliable, where the authority is inappropriate. So this argument is said to be what, fallacy or defective induction, where the authority is not legitimate, no expert opinion are there. So appeal to inappropriate authority means your statement is not supporting by the someone which is reliable authority, and uh, not the relevant one. When you want to talk about the psychology, so you will be take the opinion from the psychologist. When you discuss some legal matters, so you will be concerned some law person, legal advisor. When you talk about some accounts, so you will be must be take up some points from the some accountant, chartered accountant, or some other financial advisor. But when you say that I supposed to say that मुझे ऐसा लगता है, I talk like that, so this is not a relevant, right? Yes, first ST generalization. When you oversimplify the thing, ST generalization, where you say that there is insufficient data, conclusion is insufficient. You jump to the conclusion very quickly, and your conclusion is not reliable because of insufficient data provided for justifying that argument. So hasty haste make waste. Haste means hurry. So hasty generalization when jump to the conclusion very quickly without collecting the more evidence with a few facts, you will be say that and pass the judgment, right? When some friend have deceived you, and you will say all friends are liar and all friends are like that. So this is over generalization, uh, right? When someone broke your heart and you say that everyone is like that, so this is just like that, the hasty generalization. You will jump to the conclusion on a very few facts. Sweeping generalization is what? When you ignorance of some fact, you ignore some exceptions and assumptions, ignore the exceptions into a large group. For example, when you say that every heart attack victims are because of smoking, so you have to be inquire about and collect a report of heart patient, that what are the causes behind that. You will apply the regression formula, you will apply the correlation method, and on the basis of statistical inferences, then you will be take some conclusion that it is because of what. So sweeping generalization means when you ignore some assumptions and ignore some exceptions. And Faust's dilemma, which is called the post hoc dilemma, means when you have two alternative and you have to be chosen one. Or Faust's dilemma is a case where two extreme positions are there, and you say that either you are with me, either you are not with me. uh, when you say that you are completely free or everything is determined, these two are the extreme position, and might be these both position are not necessarily be a true. There is a middle and alternative position also exists there, and you say that you are either with us or against us. So this position, false dilemma, is either or, neither nor. When you choose between the two alternative, extreme alternative statement. Okay, here is an example. We either agree with this plan, or just let the project fail. So you have to extreme position that we will be success when we agree the plan, or if we not follow that, will be definitely we fail. So not necessary in the case. So, so here is one more examples of that. Inappropriate authority, where the source is not properly cited, not a genuine one, or it's subject to some consideration. Might be someone pledged that when there is a reason to believe that source is biased, when there is no accuracy of the source, the references provided is questionable, right? Example, media source, references work, internet source is not genuine work. It's not reliable. So this is the case of inappropriate authority. Appeal to ignorance. When you ignore, this is also called the sweeping the generalization. Sweeping the generalization in which we ignore some exception, some assumption. So fallacy of weak induction is there is a sum up of the fallacy or defective induction. There are different form of fallacy of relevance, and the premises are not logically irrelevant, not logically relevant to the conclusion. The defect is that the connection between the premises and the conclusion is not strong enough. It means there is not strong evidence are provided for the conclusion. So this is called the weak inductive argument. Here's a example, more example I have. this shampoo is recommended by the Ling Ching Ling, so it must have a high quality. Who say that? Who is the person? So this one is some authority. Who said that? So the refer to the authority is in effect is not an expert. Many TV shows and advertisement uses some celebrities in the start to promote that product and idea. So this one is not a qualified person. This one is not a relevant to that product. If someone say that this car is good, so you are engineer, you are mechanic. So appeal to appropriate authority. Fallacy of hasty generalization. This is all about the representation or appropriate of sampling. Small, non-random, non-representative sample are the source of error, and you will not able to collect the data and jump to the conclusion. And there is an example, fallacy of slippery slope, where there is a false chain of committing fallacies in the wrong argument. The link between the conclusion and the premises depend on the claim or the situation will initiate a more or less a long chain of event, and the long chain of event, a false chain of event leading to some undesirable consequences, to the worst, to the worst, to the worst condition, and might be some to the best of the best of the best condition. And the connection of all these arguments are not clear, not relevant, when there is not sufficient reason to think that the chain of event that is connected for providing the evidence will not actually take place. When we think too far back, and when sometime we think too far ahead, we fall into the slippery slope. Yes, this is the hasty generalization, which means oversimplify the thing. Bandwagon is also the simplifying the thing, or either or the post hoc, reducing an issue to only one side, and right. All right, in today in this lecture, what we have did, first we have to be get quick revision over the fallacy of relevance, and then we double click over the fallacy of defective induction, and this one was the main topic of that lecture. The fallacy of defective induction. Defective means faulty, the weakened, and induction means the fact. So you can say that fallacy of defective induction is that type of argument which is weakened, providing by the evidence. Okay, here we have some of all these things. Fallacy of defective induction, where the conclusion are weakened, and there is an appeal to ignorance. Here, appeal to ignorance. Truth as ignorance of the fact. Proof is to be failed. Uh, Appeal to inappropriate authority, where there is no reliable source. There is a false cause, which means follow the event, imaginally cause the wrong relation of the book. For example, more books on law are today to be read. So it means there is a crime decrease. More books on law are today is going to reading, so it means the crime rate is decreased. Or we can say that when many people are enrolled in the criminology, it means the crime reduced, not necessary. Or we can say that we have more doctors we have in the society, it means we have very good health control. This is the false cause. It means we follow the event by imagination. ST generalization means for all known, there is a type of there is a stereotyping, there is a presupposition, and you will jump to the conclusion on a very minor facts. And we add one more thing, which is called the slippery slope, which we means the variety of false chain, and like if you fail in the paper you will destroy your whole life. So taking the worst to the worst condition. So all right, I hope you will be understand well, and we will take the more views on fallacies in the next session, in the next part of the fallacy. Okay, Allah Hafiz.